Hello and welcome to another edition of the Central Texas High School Football Webcast. I'm Rich T. Arena along here with Rick Cantu and Alan Trudeau. Guys, let's just start this week by asking you guys a couple of questions, quick answers. Who's the favorite to win District 18-3A?
18-3A, Hutto.
Hutto? After their win over Cameron New?
I hope that's 18-3A, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, Hutto.
Rick, who do you like in 14-5A?
14-5A, that would be the Leander Lions.
Cedar Park have a chance to win that district?
Oh, absolutely. You got to see that.
Don't.
You got to see that district. You got to see that. You got to see that team play defense. I tell you, once they get a lead, no one's going to catch up to them because that team, they're just going to run the ball and punt, and they're going to rely on that.
The best part about that is that they play each other at the very last game of the season too, so that could be a showdown
game
right there.
You're going to have to fight me to get to that one.
I'm taking that one.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's kind of a quiet week around high school football this week. Not a lot of huge matchups as we've had in the past couple of weeks, but there is certainly one very large one in 25-5A. We'll get to that a little bit later. But before we end this first segment, guys, is there anything that's just on your mind that you want to talk about, or anything that's out there?
I was impressed with the Thorndale Thrall game that I went to. It's the first 1A game I've been to, but I'll tell you, there aren't many 4A games that can match the intensity that there was in that little stadium that was just packed.
Yeah, what's the biggest difference in a small school and a big school game like that?
Without upsetting anybody, I mean, I'm assuming it would be talent. There's just, there's more depth in a big school. There's more, they have more people to choose from. But the setting overall, there really wasn't any difference. I think they're actually more passionate in the little 1A towns than they are in some of the 4A places.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Rick? What's on your mind?
Not much. No, not really. You
Shocking.
mentioned it before.
Our fears are
Right,
confirmed.
absolutely.
I think all three of us thought maybe Leander was a little bit down as of a few weeks ago, but the way they've stormed back in the last couple of weeks, they looked very good against a good Round Rock team.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought, including us, that Round Rock might have had the most talent in that district, but after watching Leander in consecutive weeks, I got to think that the Lions really are loaded.
Well, here we go. When we come back, let's give out some game balls and name our player of the week. Some big games last week, guys. Let's give out some game balls, name our player of the week. Rick, who's your first game ball going out to?
My game ball is going out to a running back from Marble Falls named Lazaro Flores. And before you say, I've never heard of him, I have never heard of him either until this week.
Are you sure you're pronouncing his name right?
Probably.
We apologize if it's wrong.
He rushed for 330 yards on 26 carries, caught one pass for 50 yards. And they lost 41-40. 41-40 to Hendrickson.
Which hadn't won a game.
Yeah. But you got to give it to a kid that's got 330 yards.
Yeah, hard to blame him.
I would agree.
How about you, Alan? Game ball?
Well, you've heard of Chase Rich and you've heard of Stockburger, but Bryce Vernon is the big Westwood receiver. He had 172 yards receiving. That's a pretty good game. That's one of our top receiving games of the year. I got to give a ball to him. They responded to their loss last week to Leander by beating Georgetown by, I think, 16 points. I mean, it was a pretty good victory, and Westwood's still there. They're still there for that district title.
Definitely headed for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Our player of the week is going to be Darius Darks, Connolly quarterback / defensive back / all everything. He scored 3 touchdowns. Connolly wins 26-21, instrumental in all phases of the game. Rushes for 113 yards and a touchdown, returns an interception for a touchdown, and then with 9 seconds left, throws the game-winning touchdown pass, a 20-yarder. So he's our player of the week. So when we get back, we will talk to another former player of the week, Tyler Smith from Cedar Park. He missed last week's game. We'll get his thoughts on the 14-5A race, and we'll get that back when we come back.
Welcome back to our Central Texas webcast. Today we have a very special guest, Cedar Park High School senior Tyler Smith, leading rusher in Class 5A in Central Texas, at least as of a week ago. I know you didn't play last week, but welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Right off the bat, you didn't play last week. Had a little bit of a knee thing. How are you feeling, and how much longer do you think you'll need before you come back? You got a big game against Pflugerville this week.
Yeah, it's day by day. I'm just feeling how it feels right now, like going day by day. And we'll just see when it comes, when it's my time.
Game time decision, probably.
Yeah, basically.
A lot of people may be surprised. You said you're not. That Cedar Park is still undefeated.
Yeah.
And what do you attribute the success of Cedar Park to this coming year?
The coaches changed everything around. Like in the summer, we had morning workouts at 7 o'clock, and everybody showed up. That tells like dedication to the team, and that's how we like get up to where we are right now.
Do you think people are starting to key on you guys, thinking, "Hey, wait a minute, this team's pretty good"?
Yeah, I think so.
Might be a little harder to win now.
Yeah, but we got other people who like to step up instead of like giving me the ball. But that's what a team does. Everybody has to step up. You can't depend on one person.
Some of our viewers may not know this, but your brother Quentin is a senior running back at Rice and is doing very well for himself. What do you see as your future as far as maybe going in his footsteps? Maybe not going to Rice, but going somewhere in college. What are your plans?
Yeah, it feels good like coming in his footsteps because I know I might be better. I'm going to be better than him. That's what I'm working towards, like competing against him, trying to break all his records. But I'm going to be going somewhere. It's pretty good, like going to good college.
Did you have a little rivalry, kind of like a brother rivalry kind of growing up?
Yeah, because every week we compete to see who gets the most yards.
Right. Oh, well.
Yeah,
I bet you've won your share.
Yeah,
I think you had more than 200 yards in your last game.
Yeah.
We were talking before you got here about Cedar Park. Do you ever feel like they get overlooked because they're not right in the main part of Austin?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Like every year we've been the underdogs, but since the coaches, like I said, they change everything around, and that's what's good about it. And that's what we've been overlooked for.
Coach might not want to hear this, but this team's got a good shot to make the playoffs. I think you're probably going to make it, but as far as how far can this team go? You know the talent level is pretty good. If you make the playoffs, you do some damage.
Yeah, of course. Because, coaches and the staff, they work like 6 days a week. They can like change the game scheme to what is according to us to beat the other team. So I think we have a good chance of going deep in the playoffs.
Anything surprise you yet about the season? I know that you're not totally surprised about your record, but has anything surprised you leading up to this point?
Not at all, because I know what we prepared for is pretty good. Like, not surprising at all, because I know we work hard and everything's coming our way in a good minute.
Well, thanks for being on the show. I know one more fact is you have a sister that's older than you and younger than Quentin, and she's a student now at Texas A&M, is that right?
That's right.
And she's doing well. Do
She is.
they get to come down and see you very often, your brother and sister?
Like, sometimes my sister, but my brother, he's always busy, like with his football games, of course, on Saturdays. So he doesn't get a chance to come see me.
Well, maybe next year when he's out of school.
Yeah.
And thanks again for being on the show. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you.
Well, we just heard from Tyler Smith, which leads us into our last segment. We're picking 3 games off of this week's schedule, off of our weekly game picks. 2 of them are out of 14-5A, starting with Pflugerville Cedar Park. Who do you like in that one, Alan?
Cedar Park to roll easily. It'll be a close game because Cedar Park plays it very close to the vest. They're
make up your mind.
They're
going to roll, or it's going to be a close game.
You can roll in a close game.
You cannot.
You see the Michigan-Penn State game last week? Michigan rolled them, but it was a close game at the end. 17-10.
And they almost lost the game.
No, they didn't.
I'm going with Cedar Park. Cedar Park's a better team. Pflugerville's improving, though.
Cedar Park almost upset by Stony Point last week without Tyler Smith in the lineup.
And that might make a difference this week, too. I think if Tyler Smith doesn't play, and it looks iffy right now, it could. I'm not going to say it's going to go either way because Cedar Park's defense is that good. I still pick Cedar Park to win.
I don't think it's going to be a roll. I think Pflugerville actually gives them a really good game because they have to win this game to stay in that race.
So pick them.
I'm not. Cedar Park wins by, I think, probably a touchdown.
Oh,
next game also in that district, Westwood and McNeil. I'm going to go against the grain from you guys, and I'm going to pick Westwood in this game. I think the Warriors' offense is clicking, and I know you guys are going to pick McNeil, but I'm going to stick with the Warriors. They're heading for the playoffs this year, and they're looking good.
Yeah, nice try. Nice try. I've seen both these teams play a couple times, and I think they're both good teams. I don't think McNeil has enough offense to win this game. The passing attack just isn't there for the Mavericks this year, so I'm going with Westwood.
I'll go with Westwood. Chase Rich, Andy Stockburger,
Enough said.
Bryce Vernon.
Bryce
Oh,
Vernon.
more than said. Okay.
Thank you.
Last game we got is the probably best one of the week, 25 5A showdown, possibly for the district championship, possibly not. Seguin at Austin High, 2 teams on a roll. Offense versus defense, has all of the elements of a great game. Who do we like there at House Park?
I like offense,
You go offense?
meaning Austin High in this case.
Yeah.
I'm going with Austin High too. And in this game, if Austin High wins, it's for the district championship. Mark it down. They're going to win this district if they win this game.
Now, what happens if Austin High loses this game?
Well, Seguin plays Westlake next week, and then that game's going to be for the district championship.
Which we'll be talking about next week, probably.
Right, exactly.
I'll go with Austin High as well. I think the Maroons are playing very well, and that's who I'm picking. You guys out there can log on, match your wits against ours. Get on to statesman.com/pick'em and make your picks for this week's games. Whoever finishes the highest out of our online pickers becomes our guest picker for the next week in the paper. So log on. See you next week.